Okay, looks like we're rolling. Hello, this is Sora Donald Goofy 99, finishing off the Go Onder reviews with these three here. Little forewarning, I tried to upload this in the past, but for some reason it didn't get any of the audio I had. So this is probably not going to be as good as the last one, so if the last one was any good at all, I'm just doing this because I think they're cool and I want to show them off. Really, that's the whole reason I've done this. No other reason, just, hey, they're cool, get them. If you have space for them, of course. I apparently have space for them, so here we are. These were the last three engines in Go Onger. I mean, there was also the Daishogun set, but I was not planning on getting them because they're just repaints of the basic Engine-O, even though I do think it is a cool repaint. Engine-O is fine as is, essentially. But these guys, okay. Engine number 10 is Kishimath. He's pretty big. This nice shade of, I want to say crimson, burgundy. I think this, deeper shade of red. That's like pretty good. Doesn't really have posability per se, besides the trunk. You can either leave it up like this and kind of say he's a train with the funnel, or you can extend this down. You can also move his tusks forward, but the only thing about that is you won't be able to really put him on the ground anymore, even though his tusks move in the show regardless. And my favorite thing about him is this. Like the little wheels that have the bar across them, that is so cool. You can actually see that going as you're rolling him around. I love that about him. He is neat. And he does have a latch back here, which he can use to hook the other two to him. Not sure I have the table space to demonstrate that, but I will attempt it. And this one's T-Line, a little Tyrannosaurus train car hybrid. Basically, this is really all he can do. Open his mouth, close it. You get nom nom, nom nom. And I do like the detailing on him. I think he's awesome. He's got a little mouth, and of course he has the 11 on him. And his clips are in his mouth, and there is also one behind him. I'm going to try to do this. It only works on hard surfaces, and we have already reached the limit of the train. However, K-Line, the final engine that they found, one of the three final engines, is a Triceratops train. And he's pretty much the same as T-Line, except he's like this, light shade of blue-ish. Like some kind of, I want to say like this muted light blue that's like kind of interesting. And they all have red stripes on them. T-Line and K-Line both have this like little bar on top that's neat. Little red and gold thing. K-Line does have this in his mouth, and for some reason he also has this in the back, even though nothing really hooks onto him from behind. I guess we wanted to put him in the middle instead of T-Line. You could do that. Not sure how all this is going to show up, but yeah, they can hook up to each other like a train car system. And, you can pull them along, and, ooh, it's, train, dinosaur train type of fun. Kind of great they can interact like that, and they have connectivity in such a way. The reason I'm doing these three at the same time and not separately is because these three all came together in one set. The DX Kyoretsu set had these three, and the Kishimath engine soul here. I'm not sure how clear it is, but you can kind of see that there's a little like elephant style design with the 10. That is so cool. I love that. Like little mini tusks if you look closely enough at the 0, which is kind of neat. The other two engine souls came with again, a special weapon, like a called the Con bar, or what would be called the Rail Saber in RPM. Yeah, yeah. T-Line came with it. He has this number 11 design that is pretty sweet. Although mine does not like to hold its batteries in, so I kind of had to tape the battery down. Not sure how obvious that is, but okay, you kind of see it there. Yeah, for some reason his engine soul won't hold the batteries in at all, even when it's closed. So I had to tape them in, and it seems to be working fine. And K-Line's engine soul, you get the 12. It's like a Triceratops head. You can see a little tail, little horns. Not bad. Okay. Although they don't have a ton of sounds because these guys don't talk like the others do. So all you really got to do is shove it in. And Kishimas goes under his head there. I'm going to get his sounds to work. His buttons are right here underneath his trunk. He makes an elephant trumpet noise. And he'll roll along. And if you hold it, it'll play the sound as long as you want to play it. And when you actually use the trunk to hit both buttons, I believe it's supposed to be the blaster sound that comes with both the gun and both the Mantan gun and the Con bar when they combine. Otherwise, it'll just do that. So, yeah, he only really has 4 sounds. And T-Line, with pretty much every other engine, pop his rear open and then shove that in there. And his buttons are up top here and on the bottom here. It sounds like Godzilla too. That's why he's like one of my favorite. He's like my favorite animal sound. And if you hold them, thought he had a special sound he would make. Yep, there we go. I think those are sounds that are supposed to be for the weapon. That's kind of neat. And K-Line, same kind of thing. Shove his engine soul in there. Didn't even activate. Oh, weird. There we go. It's like the sound interrupts itself too. One of my friends has said that this thing sounds like it's constipated and not an animal. I mean, maybe. Never really thought of it that way. Special sound up there. And both, you get that. And hold both. Just when there was a hold button sound, but whatever. Alright, now we're done with the engine soul part of it. We get all these out so that they're not bothering me during the transformation showing. These 3 can combine into their own robot called the Kyoretsu. To the tape I have to put in the T-line, I have to manually pull his out, but, minor inconvenience, whatever. For the Kyoretsu's transformation sequence, it's very simple. Involves a lot of disassembly and reassembly. T-line and K-line just open their mouths all the way, and they'll lean which direction they're supposed to be facing for the legs. Kishimas, though. completely rip him apart, pretty much. Disassemble him like so. These two pieces, yeah, you kind of use the white lines to direct yourself for which way they're supposed to combine. In, for his mammoth form, for his robot form, there are these black lines. They kind of intersect here. And doing the head reveal a bit early, but you kind of have to pull that out if you want to attach Kishima's head to this. May as well do that now, and you can collapse the trunk and do that. Push it back up against the body. His waist section is this piece. All you need to do is disconnect it and re-click it there. Attach it to the bottom of this whole thing. And the arms are the wheels. Hold this crimson thingy in, and then you get an arm, and that's good. Same thing for the other one. Oh, butterfingers today. And they both will attach onto these ports in the side like so. Okay. Then once you get all of that reassembled, these two attach into the legs like that, and then you remove, not really remove, you push the horns forward like you would for the original Mighty Morphin Megazord. You've seen here. And this is Kyoretsu. And as far as looks, yeah, he's a big, blocky guy, I agree. Some people don't like that he's a parts former. I'm like, it's not about the transformation method, it's about how the end result looks, because you're transforming it from one thing into another. That's how I've always been. Now, the only thing that gets me about this is this big amount of block on the back. Like, he doesn't even need this on him to stand up. At least on a, hard surface. Yeah, you can just do that, and he'll stand up just fine if that's really that much of a concern to you. Like, yeah, just remove the piece if you don't like it back there. I don't care about it too much. Just a big block on the back. And yes, this is pretty much all you're getting in terms of articulation. Here, his arms go up and they chop. Primarily how he attacks in the show, too. And you can still use the trunk, which, in the show, his finishing move would be him spraying this mist everywhere from the horn, and then he would chomp and, karate chop things. I think one of his attacks is that he, kicked K-line, or T-line into someone, and he would, bite on him. Oh yeah, do that with this guy, but not Carrigator, when he has a much bigger freaking mouth. For some reason. And I guess you could pull these down. I don't believe he ever did that in the show, but that's something you can do. Ram someone with his tusks out. That'd be kind of neat, honestly. And you can still get at the wheels and do this. It'd be like one of his, one of the things he would do to show off in the show. As far as Kyoretsu himself, I think he's fine. I do like his color scheme of, red and the white and blue legs are, neat. It's definitely not the best thing in the line, though. Seikuo and probably... Yeah, Seikuo is definitely better. Gunboro, at least as far as posability, is better, but... as far as looks, I think it's about the same. I don't know. Engino is pretty much required for a lot of things, so you do need him regardless. This has no interactivity with Engino. I mean, you can actually use these two as arms for whatever reason if you need to because of the way the connection ports work. Getting to that, though, I'm going to move him over. And, yep, as I said before, an Engino G12 does exist, and you need to have all 9 of them. Well, not specifically in G9 formation. You can do it from, pretty much any position they happen to be in. But you do need everyone in the G9, and you need the Kyoretsu to make the Engino G12. Which I'm going to try to set up right now, and hopefully this camera angle is still going to work for it. Right, G9. You need to remove the arms. Burka will actually need to be turned over like that. Gunford, you have to remove him as well. I changed that around because of how this is going to connect to the part later, and I believe you do need to collapse him back like this for that to work. You need to get back here and remove the shield. I just collapse that as much as I can for aesthetic reasons. And you need to remove the Carrigator feet. Like so. And we'll get to the rest of this in a bit, but you don't need to do anything with this yet. You set him down for a moment. Okay, and Kyoretsu also needs to be pretty much completely disassembled. You do not do anything with his arms. Those are fine as they are. T-line and K-line just close their mouths back up. They're not feet anymore, so they don't need to stand on little things. And the rest of Kyoretsu completely disassembled. The waist piece here, gonna get it back to normal and remove this thingy from the top. And this thing, take out the mammoth head, put the mech head back in, and get the blocks ready. And you're left with a lot of extraneous stuff for the moment. Carrigator, you're actually going to need to put these little platform thingies down. And it finally makes sense as to why the feet are so freaking big. Alright, I'm going to set up the right leg first. You take the piece with this in it. This little hole in the center, like right there. Attach the B shield to the side. Put that into the right foot. And Burka is inserted into here. And that foot is completely done. Left foot, just make sure there's not really much going on and that these pieces are poking out. The waist piece connects to some pegs on the side. And Gunford fits into the hole on this thing. Actually, I did put T-line or K-line in there once, and the peg still works for them too, so guess we want to do some switching. That might be possible. Alright, now we got the feet completely put together. I'm going to bring in the Engine-O stack, whatever this is. And you have to attach him onto the top of the blocks. A little bit harder to do on that one, since that's where the head moves and that piece is a little loose. And the Kyoretsu arms are going to be attached to Basan's legs like so. Let's see. A bit harder to do on that one, probably because the pegs are kind of getting in the way there, but then they both go on here. And some people say this is just this unnecessary combination. I just say this piece is unnecessary. Everything else is fine. But that goes on the Basan like a little moustache. 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 Thanks, Team 4-Star. Anyway. And the smaller dino trains are the new arms. Just plug them right in and they're good to go. We're nearly done. I mean, you don't necessarily need to turn him all the way around to do this, but you do need a visual reference of some type, I think. Oh wow, I'll raise this up a little bit more. Okay, Jumbo Whale's head needs to actually attach completely to the rear of this thing. You see the Seikuo head. Kishimoff goes on top of that, and he should just latch right in. Once you're done there, again, for the visual reference, I'm going to turn this guy all the way back around. And the final piece of the transformation is to get these tusks facing forward, and I believe that's it. This is the Engine-O G12, aka the RPM Ultrazord. This feels very Ultra to me. And some people might be wondering why this thing is one of my favorite mechs in all of Sentai, or one of my favorite Zord combos in all of Power Rangers, however you want to put it. This thing, to me, is an epic design. The fact that they were able to make 12 separate Zords all work together into this big thing is astounding to me. I love it. It finally makes sense to me why Carrigator's feet are so big. Like, I didn't think he needed to be this big for G6 or G9, but when you look at G12, it kind of makes a little bit more sense. I wish these two were a little bit better placed, or that they had some other purpose besides being like foot storage, but what are you going to do at this point? He still has a jetpack. G12 actually flew like one time that I saw, so despite the fact he looks so massive, he can apparently still fly. And yes, as far as articulation, it's still pretty, not good. Although, you can still, get those to move. That's neat and all. Although, thanks to how T-line and K-line work, he technically has openable hands, so, you can get that, where both the hands are open and it's like, rah. And no, they're not cannon hands. Every time I see opening mouths on a Sentai mech, I just think it's going to fire a laser. But no, they don't do that. They did do that to launch the Go rotor at someone, though. That was... They might have done it more than one time, but they did launch the Go rotor that way at somebody. And this thing is tall. I mean, G9 had stuff going everywhere. G12 is just huge and has stuff going everywhere. There's a whole lot more going on in the legs. You can actually see Busan's legs again. Maybe you could say this is extraneous. I just say, hey, it fills up the space. The only problem I really have with G12 is this stupid thing. This mustache piece. I mean, yeah, I guess if you don't like it, you can just put it back down here and call it good. Doesn't really change the overall appearance, but you can do that with it if you don't like the big red thingy on there. But for the purposes of the review, we are just going to leave Mustachio on. So while I'm moving this over, I wanted to give a quick size comparison. Oof. Man, this guy's still heavy. Not a lot of space for both of these dudes on here. But yeah, compared to Toradora Oni Taijin, I mean, okay, most of the Zords here are way bigger than the Zords on there. I use Zord and Mecha interchangeably at this point. But yeah, I own both these guys, and I am not in the least bit embarrassed about that. But I'm actually quite pleased with how they handled G12, to be honest. Yeah, they could have stopped at G9, and I would have just liked it there, although I probably wouldn't have been inspired to actually get the sets. Toradora is just, amazing regardless of that, and I'm still hoping to get the Phoenix for Christmas. But this mother... Whoo boy! G12 just has everything to me. I mean, other than posability, which Toradora Oni Taijin does handle a bit better, even if you can't really pose him that well. Like you can't leave him in poses too well. G12 is just this big, tall, honking thing, and I love it. And I love that everything is everywhere. I love that it's goofy, and yet again, still somehow cool. Like, yeah, G12 was like maybe a whole head taller than Toradora Oni Taijin. I don't know how they would scale in the show, but you'd probably make them pretty close to the same size, or make him even smaller. But hey, G12 is I just love G12, alright? I just love him for the reason he's zany and crazy, and he looks cool to me regardless of the fact that everyone thinks he's this cluster frick mecha. You know? No, he's great, and I love him. I I just love all the beefiness he has. He got big beefy dino arms, as I've been calling those things for a while. Although he still does not use those pods up there as shoulder cannons. That's mildly disappointing, but hey, he's still got a gun in the leg. You can use that, right? Oh well. And now, Carrigator. Like, Carrigator's the hero of the line. He has to carry all of this weight up here. Gotta love this guy. And they don't open his gator mouth in G12, but you can still kind of do it. Yay. For everyone that loves the gator mouth. And yep, G12, for me, complete 10 out of 10. There's really nothing wrong with his design except the mustache on Busan's face, and even then, it's not a deal breaker. So, hey, hope you all enjoyed this little series. This is Sora Donald Goofy 99, and I will be signing off for now. Peace out.